G'day everyone, Ivan81 here, and welcome back to a very special episode of the massive Shulker swapper thingy that Toombe and I created. It's been quite a while since we've had a look at this, and to be honest, a few things happened. One, I lost the world, and two, I've been very busy, as I mentioned in my previous video. But I'm back here with the amazing Toombe.
Hello.
I can't push you off for some reason. That's not fair. Oh wait, can I? Are you just sounding off?
Nah, I'm doing it myself.
I'm trying to do it backwards. So yeah, Toombe and I actually managed to finish the version 4 a little while ago, but we never got around to showing it off. And I thought we'd take a quick trip down memory lane first, and have a look at some of the bit of a story behind what this actually was. Originally, I had an idea for a Shulker swapper that used the selection panel, and this was my very first concept, where you would push a button, the cart would come out, run over here, and let me just push the button to demonstrate. I'm having some computer issues at the moment, and it would spit the boxes out, and then you'd access the storage. 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously one for each spot in the hopper, and then when you're finished you would push the button and they would go back. This version is quite funny because it immediately puts them back again somehow. That shouldn't even really be possible.
I actually think I know why it's possible. I think there are 2 sets of brown shulker boxes currently in the system.
Right.
So it just swaps them around, I guess.
Okay, so if I actually take them out of here. Oh no, but now this is empty.
I think there are 2 sets currently in here.
Where's the other set?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay, so would you mind grabbing them out for me for a sec? I'll start from this end.
Okay.
If I can.
I mean, it's currently it's literally only doing, when it goes back, it empties out the shulker boxes since it's going over the hoppers again.
Yep.
But yeah.
Alright, so if I call it back, it's actually not going to work the first time, but I should be able to send it back again. So it should pretend, and then if we push the button to send it back, right, that makes more sense.
It's the boxes, and now it's back in the
it
system
puts it back
again.
in on the way back
boxes
in.
in the dispensers, yeah.
Yeah, so the first idea didn't really work. Oh, actually, I made this cool map, by the way, now that we're in 1.13. It's weird. I can see you on the map as well. I wasn't expecting that. You can put banners down and you can name them and they show up on your map, which is really cool. So this was the very first original concept, and over here we have the Toombe's first attempt to make it work properly. This is actually the final design we went with for the cart selector. We ended up swapping it around, and the original one was redstone spaghetti. This does actually still work. Let me just check that there's boxes in here. So brown, if we set it to brown and call the boxes, nope, that's definitely not brown. That was like yellow or something.
Yeah, that was yellow.
I think some of these selectors are a bit off, and I don't think anything was in yellow. You know what I bet it is? If I break this sign, put it back on. Yeah, now if
I think
it's
currently 1 off, probably.
Okay, let me try this one then and see what this does.
Select the orange. Yeah, it's currently 1 off.
I don't know why that is. So 1 off, so then...
That would have been because of the placement of the wall.
Never mind. That one's not important. Let's go over this one. Which one is this? This is the first attempt... I can't tell which dot's me now, which dot's you.
This might have been what I just created before the spaghetti.
I think this is unfinished spaghetti. Yes, this was the first idea at spaghetti. Looking at the actual problem of how do you actually split a signal that many times and with enough space, and that's fine. This was the 16 spaghetti, so this was if you wanted to have double the number, 16 or 15. Hang on. Ooh.
Oh, okay, I'm out. I didn't know what you were talking about.
Toombe's having great connection issues. 16 options spaghetti. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 8 to 16, yes. So this was 16 options. Toombe actually managed to work out a way to make it actually work, which was quite amazing. This method uses observers, which were faster, but obviously in a survival world that'd be very resource intensive. So this one was not so good. We had the idea
because of the changes in the observers, it would be slower now. Thanks
Really?
to the 1% delay between each observer nowadays.
Of course.
It was instantaneous once when we actually built all this in the snapshots.
That's right, it was. Jeez, that's going back a bit now, isn't it? Let me just check over here. I think this is where Toombe first worked out that there was a way to split the signal in a way that would elevation of the selector. Yes, 2 boxes, so you can actually have 2 different selections.
This was just me building the Ilmango design on the 16 selector.
That's right.
And then we started working out some different designs.
Yep. And then I think we applied that to not this one, ignoring this one. I had an idea over here later on for 3 instead of just the 1, and that's a bit of a spoiler for what's coming up very soon. We have this monstrosity over here, which I think, oh my god, the lag, was the first one that actually worked the way we really wanted it to. First working non-spaghetti. Check the map as well. Yes, because...
Yeah, and we managed to beautifully cram the redstone in a pretty small space.
Yeah.
Considering it was now split up and all.
Well, the back of it here is the output from the sign there, and then I still don't understand how you managed to make it do all this. Each of these furnaces has an item in it, and because this is the final version, we will be providing a weld download, so you can come in and have a look for yourselves. It's pretty messy though, just kind of giving you a heads up there, but you were able to split the signal 8 different ways here in this one, and for a normal small survival world this would probably be your ideal bet. So if I do brown here and push the button, call for storage, brown one
might still be the wrong one. No, it's actually working.
I think we did test this one, yeah. So the brown shulker boxes come in, you can put in whatever you want. I was going to try and put in shulker boxes, but that's something you can't do. 2 arrows. I thought we were testing if they'd stay in order, and sometimes they do not stay in order. And I think there's nothing you can really do about that because just the nature of the beast. 3 and 4. Pack it up. I still love that way they get stomped and then sent back. Oops. Ignore that.
Yeah, just destroyed the banners.
Oh, that Minecart actually sits a little funny. Would you mind pushing the call button for me, please, Toombe?
I cannot currently.
Major connection.
I can
issues.
maybe in a bit. It kicked
fine.
me out much faster this time.
So when you select the color and then push the button, it sends the pulse down the appropriate line, and it retracts the piston long enough for the minecart to fall down, and goes along the gold line up here. Try and follow it, trying to keep this as short as possible, and it comes along here and drops off the shulker boxes, and then as it hits the detector rail it fires the dispensers, and then the minecart sits somewhere. Where does it actually go? It goes down here, and it comes down here and waits down the bottom. Waits here until you push the send back button, and then it actually powers it, and it goes underneath the hoppers and picks up each of the shulker boxes on the way back, and that's very important for the final design when we come to it in a moment. Let's see, I'm trying not to spoil it. What do we have over here? Let's check the map. First working 16.
This would be the 3rd video we published.
Yes, this is the version 3 of the shulker box swapper. I tried to come up with some sort of management system. I still haven't found a particularly good one, so maybe people in the comments could find a way to do it. But like this one, you'd have a look in here and go, oh, okay, I want the brown box, which would be brown with the light on, I think. And then, oh, they're already here. That's convenient.
Yeah.
And then you put whatever items you wanted in there. And then when you send them back, Whoop, and because it's the first one, it's quite easy to track. This one also has Toombe's patented warning alarm, so you don't accidentally call boxes before they're ready. But if I actually push the call button, you'll see that it makes a noise now. It brings a cart in. Oh, it's very quick actually, and drops them off. And there's all the redstone torches in there again. So then you would send the boxes back, and if you have a listen once more, a light indicator for when you can select another. Now the reason that was important is because if you were to call another box before the first one came back, they could collide, and the box would, the minecart would go back to the wrong color. So if you change it to blue before sending it back, it'd mess everything up, I think.
Yeah, it would send the box into the other station.
I don't recognize that one over there. Is that one you were playing with?
Yes, that is currently only the stations. I was gonna work out if I try and make a different design over there.
Yep. Here we have the next really interesting one. This is the prototype for the 3-wall shulker swapper. I think we sort of half dubbed it. And the idea is you have a minecart chest this time with actually 3 rows of shulkers. And if I push the button to send it in, you'll see very quickly it goes 1, 2, and 3. I mean, when I say quickly, I mean it's not the quickest thing in the world, but believe me, that's pretty amazing, and we were pretty happy with this one. And then when you're finished, I think you need to push the button to break them all. And that minecart came back at a really weird time then. I don't think it picked up any of them up. What happened then?
I'm fairly certain this one isn't currently. Oh, never mind. I'm unsure. I got DC'd.
I think it's because this is actually powered.
It might not currently be working properly since it was only for testing.
I think I know what it is.
Testing the idea.
Because this one was. Yeah. Now if I power this one.
Oh, okay. It wasn't powered.
It was powered.
Yeah, that should be permanently powered.
Well, no, that's what the problem was. It was powered, so it just ran off after it finished dropping them off. When it comes back in a moment, after it's made a lap. Now, what was really
yeah. I mean, that should have been powered, but then there's this other one that shouldn't have been powered.
Right. I see. Now, the problem with what was really clever about this design was Toombe had to work out a way to actually slow this down enough using soul sand so that the minecart would pass each hopper slowly enough that would ensure that it would grab every single box. So I'm going to show that one again. Let me just make sure this isn't powered. Yep, that's off. That's fine. So push the button. It drops off all the boxes. As it drops off each set. Oh no, at the end it drops it off. Got something weird going on here.
I'm back. So where it's currently stuck at, over here, it should have been powered, but then as per the final one, this lever shouldn't have been active down here.
The whole thing.
And then this is basically the send back button.
Yeah. Oh well.
I mean, it was just this was just made manually. It wasn't like you press one button and everything happens. It was lever work.
Actually, yeah. Now that you mention it, I do remember us testing this and like, okay, flick lever 2, and we'd flick that one, and it'd go off, and then we go, okay, now flick lever 1 again, and then listen over here. I see what you mean. Yes. And then flick this.
Yeah, that one should be pressed once everything's broken.
I don't even know where they are anymore.
And then
they're waiting to be dispensed. Still, which is not that one.
Yeah.
God, it's a mess. But the really important thing is this is the big one. This is the money right here. This is the culmination of all our hard work, and it's the most impressive one. It's the version 4 of the swapper, and I've also raised the ceiling a little bit in here too, Toombe, which is hard to say, just to make it a bit more spacious in here. but this is the one with all of the features. So I might actually set this to this one, and if you would be so kind to be, when you come back, this should give us the second lot of shulkers for this setting, which is box 9, or selection number 9. So no, it's on, so I need to turn it off. So when the light is off, we get number 1, which should be grass, plants, and dirt. I think he's here. When you are ready, can you please click the call button? I'll try and follow it over here.
And I'm gone again.
Gone again? Not again. Just in case you're wondering how bad Toombe's connection is, here's the chat window. And if I scroll up a little bit, yeah, it's pretty much chaos.
Okay, are you ready for me to call?
I am. I'm not sure which one is it. It's one of the 2 brown ones, I think. Okay, so give it a press.
It should be the last
Furthest.
Brown one.
Okay. This one here, yep. So it drops it down. Follows the gold line in. Trying to follow the cart. It's so quick now. Oh, fly around. There you go. It's dropped off all 3 of them, and it's now sitting in a position waiting to pick them up again, which should be over here. Yes, so it's there now, waiting. Now, Toombe's and I come up with a really cool idea. We'll show off in just a second. So the idea is, in a survival world, you'd come in here and you'd get out all of your wood, different wood. It can hold quite a lot. We'll talk about how many items it can hold in a minute. But the idea is you've got all your different boxes set up with different things. You do your own system, so you'd work out what colours you want to have what items in it. The really clever one, and the upgrade that we've made from the last system with the soul sand, is that we have gotten away with the soul sand for the tracks, and having all the hoppers facing down into one at the end here, and then having that actually hold the cart in place while there's still items in the hopper, which is an idea I had. And once again, with the theme of this whole project, Toombe then made. So the basic theme of this project has been, I think of something, and Toombe and Toombe makes it. So now each corner it stops for just a moment while it picks up all the shulkers, which is a really clever way to do it. It makes it quite a bit faster. And then once Toombe recovers, could you please push the return button? Let me just get underneath.
Send back.
Yes, please. So it stomps
And
all
they're
the
off.
shulkers. And if we check the cart, it's grabbing all the green ones here. And fly around here. I'm going to look at the hopper this time if it can. So see, it pulls out all the items and then it releases the cart. And then the final one. And then back around. Oof, yep, and then because we haven't changed the selector yet, it goes back to the right spot. The line here of observers links back to the musical notes at the end here, just so it plays a little tune when it comes back, just so you know that it's ready to do another one. So now if I now change this around to here, now that the light's on, we should get the first brown box. So the time that it takes to come, let's do a bit of a timing session. Ready? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So about 12 seconds, if you don't count the first second when I push the button, to get the closest lot of shulker boxes, which is not too bad. Going back takes slightly longer because the cart needs to slow down for each at each corner, or stop at each corner. Oops. There you go. You can have all sorts of different things in your boxes. And then once again, when you're finished, let's do a send back and a count on the back one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So it takes quite a bit longer to go back again, but normally if you were in your survival world, you would take what you need from the boxes, push the button, and then probably leave your base. I would imagine though, Toombe, it would be a bad idea to let the chunks unload before it had finished.
I mean, there is always the chance that minecarts stop when they arrive at unloaded junk borders. I don't know the full mechanics behind this, but I have experience of minecarts stopping at the borders of chunks when
Right. Yes, I do
stuff
actually.
gets unloaded.
Now that you mention it, I do remember that. So, F3 and G, the selector panel here fits within. It could fit within one chunk. I would say you're off by a couple here, and then over here, this is a chunk. So if it takes a fair bit of space to build this, I do plan on building this in my Realms world once we get that back up and running, which the next video on this channel will be about. So that should be an interesting challenge to make this in survival. We'll probably do a bit of a tutorial when I'm making it in survival. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it without Toombe. I think I'm going to have to drag Toombe into my survival world to help me with some of the logistics. But it's definitely been really fun. Oh, the numbers. Toombe, would you like to read out the total numbers that this ultimate system could hold?
Well, it says on the sign, but it's 746,496 for this 64 stacking items.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, I think that'd hold quite a bit. And I mean, you could always have a different system for your massive bulk items, but you know, that many shulker boxes full of like gravel, for example, you could have one entire one of these selections. Like if let's just do this one, core boxes, you could have just one of these of like just gravel, if gravel was something that you find that you use a lot. I also tried another system here. I was thinking for the selector panel, could you use the banners in the map? Maybe you could. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with some different ways to do the selector panel. I think I picked one that didn't have any boxes in it.
I might have just done the math, but even if you were to use only one stacking items, you would be getting 11,500 spaces.
Wow. So do you think this would be overkill for survival world?
I mean, depending on how crazy you are, maybe not.
I'm fairly crazy. So this should bring me number 10 because the light's off, so it's the bottom row. So this should be enchanting. I think I did set these ones up.
The first box is wait. Oh.
I spent some time.
Oh, is this the second row?
This
is the second row. The first C block thing doesn't have any because I was doing some testing and screwed up.
Good thing
so now the boxes are just empty.
Right. I spent ages filling those up, you know.
Yeah, rip coral blocks.
I put all the coral in there. Coral. I'm gonna have a hard time playing 1.13 because of coral. Send boxes back. So I've also staggered the sending of the boxes back just so the lag of all those trapdoors going off when they're all together was a bit much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm super proud of what Toombe and I have been able to make. It really has been a group effort, but to be honest, this would not have happened without Toombe because the redstone is beyond my level of expertise. But like I said, I have an idea like, hey, why don't we stop the box? And he's like, yep, damn, done. So a huge thanks to Toombe for this. There are some other things down here. We did some villager testing at some point, and they're all still down there as well. So enjoy that in the world download as well when you get it. Have a play around with it. Let me know in the comments if you can find a way to improve it at all, or you can come up with a better system for actually showing what's in the boxes. I might also come up with a better way once I've implemented this in my survival world. But thank you very much everyone for dropping in and having a look. Toombe has left the building. Once again, hang on, forwards. Hairy hobbit toes. There we go. But yeah, stay tuned because there's going to be a video about Hobbit's Realms coming back very soon. and we might have to, like I said, drag Toombe along to help construct this thing in survival. Do a bit of a resource list, I think. I can't hear you though. Are you still there?
Yosh.
Alright. Well, once again, thank you very much. And remember, if it's not dangerous, I didn't make it. Bye.